The following review has been approved by the Best of Classic Game Room. Banished from Earth Classic Game Room broadcasts from the intergalactic space arcade on its never-ending mission to review everything.
More kids! This is their third kid. You guys are gonna be the Brady Pack bunch soon. Terrible. Terrible. Such bad jokes are only appreciated on Classic Game Room, and even then, not very much.
Welcome to Classic Game Room for a special review of one of the greatest games ever created. This is Ms. Pac-Man, the original arcade machine.
This is where they meet. Ms. Pac-Man's like, yo, what's up, Pac-Man? You're famous.
Prepare for about 5 minutes of me lavishing Ms. Pac-Man with praise. It's pretty much my favorite game in existence. I grew up playing Ms. Pac-Man on my Atari 2600 and recently picked up the arcade machine for the intergalactic space arcade. No self-respecting arcade is complete without Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man. And Pit Fighter. But I don't have that one yet, I'm still looking. Anyway, let me tell you a little story about Ms. Pac-Man because it's one of the few games I take pride at being any good at. This one, Centipede, Herzog's Y, and a handful of others. And driving games. That's about it. I suck at everything else. So whenever I see a Ms. Pac-Man machine, I try to break the high score.
Yeah! Barely got that one.
But I was out visiting some friends in Brooklyn not too long ago, and we visited Barcade in Williamsburg, one of the happiest places on Earth. So naturally, I went to play their Ms. Pac-Man machine and tried to set the high score for the day. Which I did. But it was a long game and there was this young blonde girl waiting behind me. And I kind of felt guilty about making her wait for so long, but it's my quarter, it's my game, and that's the way things work in the arcade. And I'm like, there's no way this girl born in the 90s is going to be any good at Ms. Pac-Man, so whatever. Anyway, I went and had a beer with my buddies and came back later, and she just destroyed my high score. Crushed it. So fellas, there's a mystery girl out there who's a whiz at Ms. Pac-Man. And another time I was playing it at PAX in Boston, a young man introduced me to his father, who designed Ms. Pac-Man, Steve Golson. So thank you, Jacob, who's probably watching this now. Steve signed a card which is proudly sitting on top of my Ms. Pac-Man machine as I'm playing it, proving that great things happen when you play Ms. Pac-Man. I love Pac-Man, but personally I think Ms. Pac-Man improves on it in every way. It's a far more approachable game, for starters. Especially when you have the high speed kit installed like I do. You can never go back and play it slow again.
Banana time! I love bananas. Give me a banana.
The really big difference is that Ms. Pac-Man has multiple mazes. And the fruit moves around the screen instead of sitting in one spot, so I find it to be a faster, more entertaining game.
Screw it, just give me the person.
It's probably easier than Pac-Man, but as you might expect, it gets difficult quickly. There's a variety of ways to score points: gobbling the dots, eating the fruit, and, of course, picking up a power pellet and seeing how many ghosts you can digest at once. Don't get greedy, don't get greedy, that's when you make mistakes, Mark. Trust me. I know. As with Pac-Man, the further along you get in the game, the shorter the amount of time that you have to eat the ghosts after picking up a power pellet. So at some point, I just start to avoid the ghosts and concentrate on staying alive and eating fruit, which has vitamin C and is good for you. Also, pretzels are extremely healthy.
It's hot in space today.
Especially with beer cheese, but I don't think this game has any of that. Pro tip, clear out the parts of the maze where you're likely to get stuck first.
Oh, God, on the line, look at this.
Ms. Pac-Man also has some of the best video game cutscenes ever. And they're kind of racy, too.
This is when he buys her drinks, and he gets her pregnant. Way to go, Pac-Man. It's a shame you don't get points for actually clearing off the mazes. You just get points for eating the ghosts. And,
Did you know that originally Ms. Pac-Man was called Crazy Otto? Funny, because I always thought Otto was evil.
Let me clean out all the little bit.
Fun! It's a family-friendly review this time.
Curse you, ghosts!
It's the best version of one of the best games in existence, and of course, Ms. Pac-Man is available on pretty much everything else like the Sega Dreamcast, Genesis, NES, and Atari 7800. The game systems that matter.
What? Oh, come on!
It was nice meeting you, Steve and Jacob. Now I can tell the world I played Cosmic Avenger with the designer of Ms. Pac-Man and had a great time. If you ever see the arcade machine, you play it. And I recommend most of the other versions as well, but there's no doubt the arcade machine is best in life. I still have this conspiracy theory that Junior Pac-Man is actually the illegitimate child of Ms. Pac-Man and Casey Munchkin. Nobody can prove I'm wrong. Nobody! I am the Queen of Space!
Oh, no!
So much fun can be had. Fun.
Yes! Eat it, ghosts. Oh, Junior Pac-Man. It's just implied that it's Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man. We know the truth.